Momentarily. As soon as that comes up, I will put all the information out there. And there we go. Ah, deep breath. Coffee. And good morning. Welcome to AM Rockland. Yes, we figured out a good name for the show. My name is Tom Osa from Rockland News. We are doing the morning live streams and broadcasts every morning at approximately 7:30. Right now it's 7:37 a.m. on Friday, May 16th. And we will aim to deliver the essentials primarily at this time of the day, the things that are most vital so that you can make informed decisions. We'll be talking about the basic news, the weather, and traffic updates. Um, and for all the news that matters to you most, you could head over to rocklandnews.com. And we post from 20 to 30 stories per week on a variety of topics all over Rockland County, residential, business, municipal, plus interesting information on community events as well as things sort of, for instance, blood drives. Example one that is happening today that's part of the news. But if you have any suggestions for increasing the interest level for this morning show, please let us know. I don't intend to be doing this forever, and we also have guest hosts that will be taking over several days per week because unfortunately I'm a busy guy. And also, you don't want to hear my voice the whole time. You want to hear interesting people, and that's totally cool. All right, but let's get into the news for the day. We'll start with the headline story. First of all, police are still investigating the tragic accident in Nanuet on Wednesday afternoon when a pedestrian was fatally struck by a train near the Nanuet train station. The incident, which happened just after 3 p.m., halted the Pascack Valley line service temporarily as emergency crews responded to the scene. The victim's identity has not yet been released as the MTA continues its investigation, and shocked residents described the incident as deeply unsettling, to say the least, for the typically quiet community, and it prompted renewed discussions on safety near these rail lines. Rockland County is set to take center stage as the host of the 35th Annual American Public Works Association Equipment and Products Exposition. Try saying that fast 3 times. It's happening May 21st at the County Highway Department in Spring Valley. This is the first time Rockland has been selected to host the esteemed event, bringing together over 70 vendors showcasing the latest in public works equipment, services, and technology. Coinciding with National Public Works Week, May 18th through the 24th, this year's theme, People, Purpose, and Presence, highlights the often unsung heroes of local infrastructure, those ensuring that our roads, our bridges, and our public services operate smoothly every day. So the public is encouraged to attend, offering a rare chance to learn about the vital equipment and professionals that work tirelessly behind the scenes to serve our communities. And I have this vision in my head of just a bunch of people getting behind a big rig and honking the horn. So hopefully it's an enjoyable event. The Garner Arts Festival returns once again. It is the celebrated Garner Arts Festival. It's going to be May 17th and May 18th, essentially this weekend, promising 2 full days of vibrant art, music, and cultural experiences. Hosted within the picturesque Garner Arts District, the festival runs from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. each day, rain or shine. And beyond the visual and the performing arts, visitors will find artisan vendors, interactive exhibits, and diverse food options, transforming the 14-acre campus into a creative playground for all ages. Tickets are currently available with special discounts for groups, seniors, students, and military, and new for this year, free admission for Haverstraw residents. All town of Haverstraw residents, free admission. Organizers are encouraging early registration to ensure a spot in what is widely regarded as one of Rockland's premier arts events. After Wednesday's Rockland Economic Development Summit, former state Senator David Carlucci decided to provide the public a deeper look into New York's latest affordable housing programs. And this was first reported by Rockland Biz Journal. But Carlucci penned a comprehensive article showcasing the programs like the New York State Home Program and the Affordable Home Ownership Development Program. And he cited them as critical tools in expanding affordable options for residents. These programs provide funding for construction, rehabilitation of distressed properties, as well as rental assistance. And you can find that article on rocklandbizjournal.com. I should add as a note that we were at the Wednesday summit, and it was attended by almost 200 individuals, and it was pretty impressive. Stakeholders across Rockland, all five town supervisors, our county executive, Ed Day, former and current officials for New York State. So I personally find that it was encouraging to see that everyone rallied together because, and we're all in it, boots on the ground. We're going out there, we're earning our living, we're doing everything to make sure that the people and communities around us are a good quality place. But there's also a bigger picture. And I think that Rockland Economic Development Summit, especially the focus on the housing, smart affordable housing, as well as programs for workforce development and tourism and economic development. I think it was a fantastic event. So kudos to Rockland County Economic Development for putting that together, as well as the Rockland Business Association, as well as the Rockland Industrial Development Agency. You can find more about that on rocklandsnews.com. There's an article detailing everything. There was also a night session, by the way, from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Thank you, Joanne Lewis Paul, for taking that event, and we're going to be posting that on Rockland News. That was open to the public as well. Virginia Ginny Norfleet, a tireless advocate for preserving African American history in Rockland County, has been honored as the 2025 Woman of Distinction by State Senator Bill Weber. As the founder of the Haverstraw African American Connection, Norfleet has dedicated her life to ensuring the contributions of African Americans in Rockland are recognized and celebrated. From creating educational programs and historic exhibits to transforming Clinton Street into the Haverstraw African American Memorial Park, her legacy is one of resilience, leadership, and advocacy. Senator Weber praised Norfleet's commitment to justice and education, recognizing her profound impact on both state and local levels. And a formal ceremony celebrating her achievements is planned for later this year. The shops at Nanuet has officially rebranded as the Nanuet Town Center, signaling a new era of transformation and community engagement. Under the stewardship of Nanuet Holdings DE LLC, the open-air complex that is planned is going to evolve into a dynamic lifestyle destination that blends shopping, dining, entertainment, and wellness. Recent upgrades so far, they've included refreshed signage, landscaping, digital enhancements, and a new gathering space area designed to make the center more inviting and family friendly. The center is also, and I actually spoke with representatives over at the town center yesterday. The center is also going to be rolling out an event calendar, and this brings me back to the 2010s, way back when. A grand reopening block party on June 21st to 22nd, and then after that, a summer festival weekly, all the way throughout the summer on Friday nights, and a weekly Thursday picnic series packed with activities like DJ, dance parties, roller skating. Yes, roller skating. I think with the four wheels. Maybe the four in a row, like rollerblading, but here it says roller skating, so we'll assume that we're going to get a little retro, which is cool sometimes. There's already new tenants that are rolling in. Golf Lounge 18, Carico Suits. So it's kind of like adding fresh energy to the space. And the eventually luxury apartments and a walking trail. Nanuet Town Center aims to be the heartbeat of Rockland County's social and retail scene. And this is just a personal just observation because of its proximity to the Nanuet train station. It is an excellent choice for commuting back and forth. So that's looking up, and soon we'll have some interviews with other representatives from the Nanuet Town Center. And in addition to that, the Nanuet Town Center is partnering with the New York Blood Center to host a crucial community blood drive on May 22nd from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. It's going to be at the Sombrero Taqueria on Fashion Drive, which is like the main avenue when you go into the town center, formerly the shops at Nanuet. The blood drive welcomes both walk-ins and scheduled donors. As the region prepares for the high demand trauma season of the summer, the New York Blood Center is urging residents to donate, noting that blood supplies typically dip during the late spring and early summer. And all donors will receive Girl Scout cookies and a New York Blood Center dry bag as a thank you. For more details, visit nybc.org or nanuettowncenter.com. And just as a note on that, I'm actually going to share my screen. This is a nice thing. You notice that we're switching over to Zoom in order to get this stuff done because I noted that our podcasting software wasn't adequately fitting the bill as far as getting the video broadcast going. So I figured we'd do it this way. Obviously, an audio version of this is going to be available thereafter. And all you have to do, you just go to rocklandsound.com and you'll be able to see the broadcast. So this is the Nanuet Town Center. Something I need to note about this is, and they've already trademarked it, so hands off, everybody. Nanuet Town Center. Center is spelled all cool and stuff. It's like Trey from Green Day. So Centre, Nanuet Town Center. And it's a redeveloped website. So check it out. It's got like really cool stuff on it. I just wanted to note that so that you are aware. And we will also be posting that information over to the podcast area at rocklandsound.com, which is available on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify each weekday. And we have some very interesting reviews with different people, interesting people across Rockland County. That's including the town supervisors, working on the county executive. He's been a guest on the podcast before, but we want to make sure everything is running nice and smoothly before we invite him on. And we're looking forward to that. Okay, turning back to the news, in a day filled with pride and reflection, St. Thomas Aquinas College, STAC for short, held its 68th commencement ceremony over at Clover Stadium, honoring the achievements of approximately 275 graduates. Irene Pappas, a senior executive at BNY Mellon and college trustee, delivered an inspiring keynote address and was awarded an honorary Doctor of Public Service degree. The ceremony also included a special video message from CBS Journal's Maurice Dubois, underscoring the global perspective of the college's mission. The graduates, cheered on by family and friends, they heard moving remarks from the valedictorian before donning their caps and turning their tassels. Am I turning this the right way? Symbolizing their transition from students to alumni. And as an added bonus, and I already spoke with a representative over St. Thomas Aquinas College, St. Thomas Aquinas College is a sponsor of our upcoming Rocklands Music Fest, which will be held on September 27th this year over at Clover Stadium, same place where the STAC graduates graduated. Well, I am pleased to announce, and I think I mentioned this on yesterday's show, that Rockland Music Fest will be giving one ticket to each and every one of those 275 students for free, Free. It's an amazing thing. And just so those of you know what's going on with Rockland Music Fest, we're going to have 10 bands. They're going to be there all day on September 27th. That's a Saturday. And it's going to be headlined with a band called Magical Mystery Doors. Now you can learn more about this shortly. We're revitalizing our website. Magical Mystery Doors is amazing. They play Doors, Beatles, and Led Zeppelin, and they do mashup tributes. This is not a small bands. I wouldn't say this is a band that, spans the nation, but this is definitely a band that can definitely entertain at least several thousand people. And that's what we were looking for. So we're working on it really hard from now up until September 27th. There's going to be food, there's going to be drink, and there's going to be a ton of bands, and it's going to be headlined by Magical Mystery Doors. And congratulations to the St. Thomas Aquinas graduates, and each of you will get a ticket to Rockland Music Fest. Congratulations. This is the beginning of a very long and sometimes arduous, but sometimes awesome journey. The Village of Haverstraw is embarking on an ambitious rebranding and wayfinding project aimed at revitalizing its downtown district and boosting tourism. It's supported by a $10 million Downtown Revitalization Initiative grant, DRI for short. We had Magda Truhan on the Rockland News podcast on Tuesday, and she provided some perspective on Haverstraw, the village. For instance, Haverstraw is approximately 50 to 60% Spanish speaking. We put the information out there for the survey several days ago. So far, at last check, they had about 22 respondents, but only in English. There's also a Spanish version of the survey, and only 2 or 3 people responded to it. So that tells me, and Rockland News is doing its job. We're getting it out there. But that also tells me that there's a bit of a deficit in terms of getting the information to people of Spanish heritage, Spanish speaking, and so on. So I reached out to my friend Ramon from El Sol, and we're going to likely pop that in Spanish on El Sol in the print version of the El Sol publication. And just so you know, and this is a not well-known feature, but rocklandsnews.com is translatable into 5 different languages. As a matter of fact, just because I'm gonna, why the heck not? I'm gonna screen share that real quick just so you get an idea. But we're gonna head over there and let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so there's a little button. I'm just gonna go over to, where are you? Gosh darn it. See, I'm on the air. The most they curse is gosh darn it. We're keeping it PG. Podcasts are going to be PG-13, etc. Where are you? Okay, there you are. Okay, so here is the Haverstraw Village rebranding project, right? By the way, there's a grand opening, Kobe Sushi, on May 31st. On the bottom left-hand side, and we've had this since pretty much like day 5 of Rockland News when we established it in 2020. Little button right there, and let me just see if we could translate that into Spanish. There we go. Okay. Now it's not perfect, obviously. It's obviously the translation is imperfect, but hopefully it's useful. But there you go. So the entire article, and really everything on Rockland News, can be translated into a variety of languages. We chose 5 based on the demographics of Rockland County, percentage-wise, of course. And it's a useful feature, in my opinion. And for those of you that are listening on the podcast, you can go to rocklandnews.com, bottom left-hand corner, and you can translate into 5 different languages, obviously including English. So hopefully that's a useful thing. And we certainly want to get those numbers up in terms of the Spanish-speaking participants, residents for the survey. So most certainly, you can head over to rocklandnews.com and take the survey. If you want to go there directly, this is the web address, whoishaverstraw.com. Okay, turning back to a few other items. And by the way, just so you know about the village rebranding, the project is aimed to create a fresh logo, signage, as well as more marketing tools. And they're all shaped by community input. So that's the rationale for the survey. And again, who is Haverstraw.com? Local leaders are emphasizing the importance of resident voices to ensure new branding reflects Haverstraw's vibrant diversity and rich history. And the new look and the identity of the village rebranding is expected to launch in the fall of 2025. Turning over to some interesting events that are happening. As I mentioned about 3 minutes ago, Kobe Sushi is debuting an upscale lounge directly next to its main restaurant with the grand opening set for May 31st. Kobe is a favorite in a new city. I've gone there many a time, and they're expanding their offerings with the upscale lounge. And it's going to be designed for live music, obviously cocktail hour, and entertainment. I am personally looking forward to this. I spoke with the owner, and she is very excited about bringing in entertainment and music, just creating that really cool atmosphere. And what better cool atmosphere when you have sushi right next door? And there'll be some special offers during the grand opening event. They're going to offer an exclusive experience with only 80 tickets available. So gobble them up quick. That ribbon cutting that starts it off, it's going to be attended by Town of Clarkstown Supervisor George Holman. I'm certain my friends and colleagues over at the Nanuet Chamber of Commerce will be there. And I also will be there. I'm sure my wife is, we love sushi when we get the chance to do it. We are definitely going to go grab sushi. Guests can expect an elevated ambiance, blending Kobe's renowned cuisine with vibrant nightlife. And for details and tickets, all you got to do is head over to KobeNewCity.com. Art lovers and community supporters are invited to an elegant garden party hosted by the Edward Hopper House Museum and Study Center on June 1st at Marydale Center in Upper Nyack. From 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., guests will enjoy live jazz, an artist palette auction, and brunch by Mimi's Plate, all set against the scenic views of Hook Mountain. Tickets support the museum's educational programming and preservation work and can be secured via the museum's website. And finally, music legends will be celebrated in style as the Mahwah Museum hosts the Les Paul 110th Birthday Tribute Concert on June 7th at Ramapo College's H-Wing Auditorium. The evening is going to feature performances by DNA, the Ed Laub Quartet, and Tom and Sandy Doyle, and they're going to blend music and personal stories to honor Les Paul's pioneering legacy. Tickets are $30 with discounts for members of the Mahwah Museum. Reservations can be made now through the museum's website. And I should note, I think I mentioned this yesterday as well, but my colleagues from our band, we went over there. Geez, I want to say it was before COVID, but it might have been after. It was after COVID, in 2023, I want to say. And the Les Paul guitar collection over there is fantastic. I don't play guitar, but my friends in our band, Spanky and the Radicals, do. So they were offered the chance to sit down with a Les Paul, I mean, a guitar that Les Paul crafted, but also held and played. And there's a variety of different guitars over at the museum. It's for those of you that are hardcore musicians like we are. I would say it was definitely an enlightening experience. It's kind of feeling history around you. So check it out over at the Mahwah Museum. Okay, so turning to the weather. And I don't do anything fancy with this. It's really just to let you know what the heck is going on. So Friday today, 75 degrees and cloudy. It looks like it's not going to rain per se, but you never know. Around 6 o'clock tonight, there's a 35% chance of rain. So be aware of that. Tomorrow it's going to rain, 79-degree high. Sunday and Monday, we're going to see a return to partially sunny, 68 degrees, high of 71 on Monday. And then Tuesday through Friday, it's going to be cloudy, rainy, wah, wah, wah. Tuesday is going to be 63 degrees, Wednesday 59 degrees, Thursday 58, Friday 59. And again, like Ollie over on Family Guy, during those legendary cartoons on just about all those days, it's gonna rain. And do we have anything else? I think we're pretty much done with just about everything. Oh, traffic. I do always tend to forget about the traffic report. Let me head over to my go-to for that, which is Rockland Road Conditions. Shout out to Rockland Road Conditions on Facebook. You just simply type Rockland's Road Conditions in the search. I'm sure most of you know how to use Facebook at this point. Okay, what do we got? All right, and this is why I use Rockland Road Conditions. I think it's fantastic. But morning Palisades Parkway commute. I gotta zoom in on that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like something from Mad Max. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Bill Brooks for posting that. Uh, 9W stay away. I think that's a general rule. Um, and I'll tell you, yesterday there was a pretty heavy duty accident between exit 11 and 10. I was headed off to a networking meeting and we had to basically take a detour in order to handle that. So yeah, Rockland Road Conditions, they're really fantastic. Almost 12,000 members on that group. So kudos to you guys that maintain that. And that is all of the news that's fit to be talking about at the moment. There's obviously more. We're not the only ones out there. But one thing that I want to finish off with is that we have debuted a brand logo and name for this morning show. You may have heard it before when I mentioned it, but here it is again. I'm just putting this on the screen. And I'm about to, I don't know, if you feel like doing a drum roll, that's cool, but let's just get right to it. Check this out. Pretty happy about this. Da-da! Dun, 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 AM Rockland. And we'll come up with a jingle or something. But I think this is perfect because it is the AM, as in the morning. We're doing this show in the morning, live streaming, putting ourselves out there. Live is basically the cross between exhilaration and embarrassment. And you could tell I'm not going to be perfect at this, and we're going to get other people that are better than I am at doing this morning show. I promise you, I've already reached out to colleagues. I've got people that have contacted me and said, hey, I want to be on the show. So we're going to try out some people over the next few weeks. But like I said, we are planting the flag in the ground. This is ours. This is ours. AM Rockland. And, we're going to be putting things out there that are vital to the community. And of course, also, we're going to be having interesting guests. If you recall the old WRCR AM 1700 frequency, and that's on the radio, we are not on the radio. But if you do recall that, I mean, one of the things is that we had audience populations that were listening to AM 1700. And most certainly, AM 1700 did a stellar job. Shout out to Jeff and Will, the morning show, and delivering the news. So now that WRCR AM 1700 has been sold to it's Big Apple Media, what we decided to do since we had a relationship with WRCR spanning back for like about 12 to 15 years. We have hosted the website for that time faithfully. But now that all of that material is the legal property and the rightful property of Big Apple Media, which is the owners of 770 AM, they're simulcasting 770 onto 1700. We figured we'd jump in with the local news. And we don't know where it's going to go, quite frankly. All I know is that we wanted to get here first. Like I said, we are planting the flag or the pen. So I hope it's enjoyable. I'm, repeating myself over and over again, but this is what we do. Um, you know, Started my first company on a shoestring. This one over here, Rockland's Web Design. The website team, Rockland Web, are really responsible for the creation, trying to point here, of Rockland's news over the last 5 years. And there's so much that we post. So this to me feels like the right move. We have the information that we could provide to the community. And by the way, just so you know, and this is why we decided to choose Zoom instead of Riverside for the morning show, because there's a call-in number. And it's something that would be easy for various members of the Rockland community to be able to participate. You can literally call into the show. So I'm going to provide that phone number. We're not going to be doing anything today at the moment on the phone, but we're going to have this set up next week so that you can be able to call in, and then we can let various people in and talk with them for a few minutes. We're also still trying to find the metrics. I figure for the call-ins, we'll give everybody about 60 seconds or so. I think that's a good amount. Um, and then we'll have guest spots, 5, 10 minutes long to keep it rolling. And we'll have guests like, for instance, Senator Bill Weber has already expressed interest. Um, the various town supervisors of Rockland. Howard Phillips has always been on the Rockland News podcast, as well as Supervisor George Holman. Shout out to Supervisor George Holman from Clarkstown. He also has expressed interest. So we're doing the work. Got 30 years of contacts to work with. So we're going to be contacting a lot of people, but we're going to really make it interesting. I want to say for the record, this isn't about self-aggrandization. I know that you probably are so sick of hearing my voice, our company's advertisements for our clients. I know this. It's one of those things that I can kind of feel. That being said, sometimes when you know you're doing a good job and you're doing it for the right reasons, despite, let's just say, the pushback, um, sometimes it makes sense to keep forging ahead. And I think this is the right time for that. Just kind of like a convergence of all the things that are going on there. So AM Rocklands is the name of the show. It came to us through a slight epiphany yesterday. And we already bought the domain. It's amrockland.com. That actually heads over. I'm just going to show you real quick, and then we're going to finish. We really are, because you got to get on with your day on the live stream. So the live stream, if you go type in amrockland.com, bam, it takes you right over to the page. And there I am. Hopefully soon we'll have somebody else in this, but it's going to be right there. So awesome. Uh, on the logo, it looks like it's backwards. That's not a good sign. So again, we make mistakes, we fix them, and then when we come back, we get better. That's just the way we roll. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. But wait, there's more. I'm going to be ending this momentarily, but coming up at around 8:30, we're going to have several guests. Joe Salve from ISO Rockland will be dropping by the studio to talk about what is going on in terms of events around Rockland County. We'll be broadcasting that probably on the podcast, I think. I don't know if it's going to be live, if you will, but we'll get around the table and we'll talk. We also have a gentleman, Scott Walters, who, and I have to apologize to Scott several times. You reached out to me, and I promised I was going to get you on the show. So we'll have you on the show and we'll talk. And then I got a few other guests that are going to be popping in. Hopeton Scott from the BFC team. He's going to be talking about financial intelligence. And we have a very interesting game. It's called Cash Flow. It's done by a gentleman, Robert Kiyosaki. Some of you may know him from the legendary book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he's going to be talking about cash flow and financial management. He's actually helped me out a lot, especially in terms of matters regarding incorporation, several different incorporations in the span of several years. So that is all for today. Again, the place to go to catch all of these live streams is amrockland.com. Last thing I should note is that rocklandsound.com is the place where you want to go to catch all of the interviews and podcasts. And we'll typically have those on, again, we'll have several podcast episodes per week with a variety of different individuals, interesting people from around Rockland County, as well as your elected officials. So that's it for now. We're going to be back with the podcast around 8:30. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And spread the word. Let everybody know. AM Rockland, we're here to stay. And we'll see you and talk with you next time this coming week. Take care for now.